Yo, what's good? It's your boy Dot from Dot Me Now Coaching and Entertainment for coaching links down below. Spirit Guidance Star Seed ratings down below. The Discord's down below too. Join the Discord, Patreon down below. I got some sauce coming for the Patreon, you know. But inside this video, I'm gonna teach you guys how to literally get anything you want in your life. Literally, like anything you want, I'm gonna teach you how to get that joint. I'm gonna teach you guys the secret to the secret because the secret don't tell you everything about the actual secret to be doing all this whole manifestation stuff. I'm gonna teach you how to work with real magic. I've been getting good at magic, really good at magic. I'm gonna just leave it at that. When it comes to even working magic, you need to understand the basics. And the basics is going to be something that I'm going to call visceral magic. I got the term from a book that's called Visceral Magic. If you want a good book about magic, get the book Visceral Magic. It's the only book I'm going to give out for right now, On my Patreon, when I talk more about magic, I'll give out more sauce and stuff like that. But for now, bro, just get Visceral Magic, bro. It's going to be like the key to what you need. Because I'm going to teach you about how to actually bring results down from that. Everyone says, every single possibility is real and you could create that for yourself there. And that's true, but here's how you actually bring those possibilities down. On some visceral magic stuff, right? You need to be able to actually feel the magic inside of you. That's what visceral magic is. It's literally the magic that you feel deep down inside of yourself. And you need to understand, they talk about this concept of the three cauldrons, in Taoism, it's the three Tantians. There's several different coaches that speak about these three different aspects of your body and stuff like that. So let me go over them real quick. You have the more solar plexus navel area, right? That deals with pretty much where your energy is stored at and where you activate your energy. Yeah, it's kind of like the battery to your magic. All your magic and your energy gets stored there. And when you want to activate your magic, you have to activate this part of yourself. This part of yourself, like this aspect, well, not aspect, but this area of your body is like a storage center for your energy that you need to activate and start to release. They say that these cauldrons are usually tipped upside down, and then when you start going on the magical path, you work to tip them upright and stuff. Having like sexual experiences, can actually help you feel those feelings deep down inside of yourself. All this sexual energy just popping up could really help you turn that cauldron. Also simply just enjoying the pleasures of life can help you feel more of that energy that's inside of you, and it helps you tip that cauldron. Now your energy actually gets activated, right? Then you have the heart. The heart is like what actually starts to move the energy around. So the solar plexus navel area, right, that holds your energy. It's like a battery. And then your heart center uses the energy inside the battery to create results. They say that when it comes to tipping up the bottom cauldron, the battery, they say that one kind of happens on its own and that you can't really do much to activate it. That's not fully true because they do talk about how you kind of can, but kind of can't, and like you should just let it happen naturally, kind of a thing. But you could do it on your own, but it happens naturally because you do naturally experience things in life that kind of just activate that shit that activates that battery deep down inside you. Even like scary events, you know what I'm saying? Like for example, if you're in like a do or die situation, you may feel your feelings you may feel your senses get super duper heightened, and you just feel all this energy flowing inside you and stuff like that. It's because the battery's activating. So, and then the heart, they say that the heart you can actually consciously work on way, way, way more and stuff. So you should always try to work to keep that cauldron upright. That's what they say, especially in the Visceral Magic book. So that actually moves the energy around you. This is where you can actually like feel what you're doing with the magic. Like with the fucking battery, you're just kind of feeling your shit activated. You're just feeling all this shit going off. The heart, so you can now control it. You can condense it and say, okay, I want to move this shit over there and do this with it. And then the top cauldron at the crown and stuff like that, right? when this gets tipped upright, and they say it shouldn't be upright all the time because like it could cause you to be like very like floaty and airy headed, because this one, right, when it gets tipped upright, this is where like divine inspiration comes in. So let's say you want to channel something, or you want to be like, okay, I want to work my magic, but I need to find a physical action to do, because I'm gonna talk about that also, because we got to talk about the three worlds after this, you know. So but this will help you get inspiration, and will help you get ideas, and it also is where you channel different information and stuff like that. But and you could like do stuff to tip this upright when you need to have it upright, but they advise not to have it upright all the time. Unless you're going to be like a person who's always in between worlds and stuff like that, you really don't need this upright all the time, but it is good to like be able to have it upright whenever you need it. So with that being said, right, here's how this actually also comes into like the physical world when it comes to working your magic, because there's three main worlds that we always talk about, three main planes that we always hear about, and that's the physical, astral, and the causal. Or people say the physical, etheric, and the astral. But like when you say physical, astral, and causal, pretty much because there's really like there's like nine. Okay, so like if you read the Emerald Tablets, right, he's thought, you know, aka the person who's channeling the energy of thought, the priest of thought and stuff like that, right? And if you think it's actually thoughts and stuff like that, I ain't gonna debate you on that, you know. But either way, they talk about in the Emerald Tablets 9 dimensions and 12 realms. So on some nine-dimensional shit, like I understand that structure very well. I don't fully understand what the 12 realms are yet, but I'm gonna know. But also 12 dimensional shit on the different layers of life and stuff like that when it comes to physical, etheric, astral, mental, causal, buddhic, atmic, monad, and logic. I understand that shit, right? But you could condense that into three worlds: physical, astral, and causal. Now the astral plane, right, kind of contains the etheric stuff also, because the etheric is the bridge between the physical and the astral. And then with the astral and causal plane, right, the causal plane is kind of being is that's like the mental plane, kind of like mixed with like the spiritual plane. So like you have the more concrete mental plane that's like in between the astral and the causal. Then you have like the abstract mental plane, which is the causal, and then like beyond the causal is the more spiritual plane, you know, that kind of transcends like intelligence and stuff like that. But when it comes to the three worlds in general, right, here's how you work with them. Because the causal plane, aka the more mental spiritual plane, right, that's where you actually contact the energy to do certain things. Like, for example, right, let's say you want to get money. Okay, well, you need to contact the spirit behind money and the intelligence and the idea behind money. If you want to contact Mars, you need to contact the intelligence behind Mars. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Mars is like you can actually like see Mars, right? But then imagine it's like on a computer screen, right? On a computer screen, you can actually see the Mars on the computer screen, but there's actually code behind the image of Mars. You got to contact the code and stuff like that, you know? So you do that with stuff like prayer and evocation and invocation. Evocation is when you call upon the spirit to like show up in front of you, and then invocation is when you call upon it to actually come inside of you, you know? That's the difference between invoking and evoking, right? But when you do prayer, right, you're contacting the intelligence behind something. When you say, "Okay, God, I want X, Y, and Z," you're contacting pretty much source, unless it's a specific God, like you're saying, "Oh, I want to talk to you, Isis." You're contacting that energy, you know, which is really just your intuition and stuff like that. Or it could also be spirit guides associated with wisdom and stuff, depending on how you view the concept of a set or Isis or whatever the heck, you know. But yeah, so you use prayer to talk to Jupiter, Venus, talk to the elements. You use it to contact the spirit behind anything. If you want to talk to a specific person, you want to talk to, you know, the intelligence behind that person. You know that all takes place inside that causal, spiritual, mental plane, right? And then with the astral plane, right, it's actually you feeling the energy. So that's you actually being able to like feel it, and also you visualizing and stuff like that using your senses. When you visualize something, it's like It's like, so let's say you want to manifest a certain result in your life, right? Like you want to manifest getting a certain job, right? You will contact the spirit behind the job, right? You just, if it's like a specific job, like, oh, I want to work at freaking Wendy's, you would talk to the Wendy's spirit that's at that job and be like, I want to get this job at Wendy's, da da da, all this other shit, right? And then you would visualize, right? You would visualize yourself eventually going in an interview and getting the job, right? And as you do that, right? That's pretty much you contacting the energy, and then you direct it inside of the form that you want to take place inside of. And then you actually being able to visualize and then feel it, like you visualize how it looks, how it feels, what it smells like inside there, what you hear. There's literally practices where you just practice visualizing, then you practice hearing stuff, and then you practice tasting stuff, and then inside your head you imagine like the taste of watermelon, and you imagine how the ocean sounds, right? And then you eventually put it all together. You eat watermelon at the ocean, and you see yourself actually doing it and tasting it and feeling shit, and it helps you get your senses right. It helps you boost your spiritual senses and stuff like that. But anyway, if you imagine this stuff super powerfully, right, you can actually feel it. You're starting to direct the energy inside, of the form that you want to take place in, because the energy at first is formless, and now you're putting it into a certain form, right? And then also being able to feel it inside your body, you know what I'm saying? You're bringing it down more inside the physical, right? And then from there, you could direct it inside of an object. So let's say like you can make an amulet that specifically deals with money. It could be made of things like emerald, green jade, pretty much stones that help you attract prosperity, right? You can have that. You can also give it Jupiter energy, because Jupiter can help with money and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You could use certain oils that are associated with money, or certain herbs, right? Whatever the heck, you know what I'm saying? But if it's like an amulet, you're gonna use like stones probably and stuff like that. So you would imbue the amulet, right? You could literally do your own little and then like you would imagine that as you do this, the energy is going down inside the amulet. Or you can actually find like specific hand positions that direct energy inside of things, however you want to do it. But you could always just make your own stuff, and then you would direct the energy inside the amulet. And now when you wear that amulet, it has the energy of you getting that job or whatnot. You could also just keep the energy inside of yourself and keep on building it inside yourself, and make sure that you have that energy going on inside you when you go to the interview. Make sure that you dress appropriately. You can actually throw on certain oils that deal with making yourself seem more appealing and stuff like that, or it could be certain money oils that help you attract money and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You could take a bath inside of certain herbs or some shit. You could do extra shit if you really want to, but just having the feeling going on inside of you is gonna be like pretty good. And then all the like the oils and shit and everything else you do is gonna be like extra stuff to like add to the magic, right? And then when you go to the interview, you're gonna be way more influential. You're gonna be seeming more appealing and stuff like that. And then you could eventually actually get the job and stuff like that, So that's how you actually work your magic. Now, it's always important to understand that when you do these types of rituals and stuff like that, because you could look up like real rituals that like they tell you get this specific can do it with this color and those herbs, because all these have those properties, right? If you just do the ritual but you don't contact like this, like let's say it's a love ritual, right? You could do the ritual, but if you don't even contact the spirit of love, and you can't actually feel it inside yourself, and you don't have a clear picture of what you want to manifest, then the ritual is not going to work that well. It may do like a little something, because the individual objects like the candle and the herbs and whatever the fuck has their own properties, but you need to actually imbue those energies with the energy by contacting it and feeling it and seeing it. Now, also be careful with this, because you could get what these rituals will actually work, Now, I mean, you may just be completely out of your league. Like, for example, if you're like a freaking slob, right? Like, if you're just a complete slob, no game, you don't take care of yourself, right? Doing this love ritual, you know what I'm saying? It could help a little bit to make you seem more attractive, but it ain't gonna help too much. Now, there are more different forms of magic where you could probably get more inside a person's mind and stuff like that, which could even literally involve drugging them, which is going extremely far. But like, yeah, here's why I'm saying this, right? These rituals do actually have power and will actually do things. When you start working magic and you can actually feel it, and then you actually start knowing how to feel the energies and like combine them and like learn how to make your own different magical spells and shit and stuff like that, they will actually work. And you want to be careful with that, because you may start manifesting stuff that you don't actually want, which is why it's important to use magic first to transform yourself. if you want to become a certain kind of person, right, then you could literally use magic to change yourself. If you want to become more confident, right, like instead of using a love spell to make a specific person fall in love with you, you could do like a spell to just make yourself become more attractive. So that way, people who would naturally like you will just have a tendency to like you a bit more. But you would also focus on making yourself more confident. Like F having people be attracted to, and having people be attracted to you, you could just work on your confidence. You do a spell to make yourself more confident. You know what I'm saying? You could contact the energy of Jupiter to feel more confident, and Mars. You could use Venus also when it comes to like more attractiveness and stuff like that. You could literally pray to Venus, ask it for a favor. You could literally imagine yourself getting Venus energy poured all over you and stuff like that, and then you could start doing stuff physically to become more attractive. You could take better care of yourself, groom yourself a bit better and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You could get more skills that make you seem more attractive. You can start doing stuff physically because you want to always have the three planes in line. The more spiritual plane where you contact the energy, the astral plane where you actually see it manifesting, then you feel the energy, and the physical plane with physical objects, and you actually take your physical action and actually doing things. That's how you align the three worlds to actually do magic and stuff like that. So yeah, but always focus on changing yourself first. Don't always be like, oh, I want to make this person come towards me, or oh, I want to attract this random money real quick. Because quick money spells could work, but it's also important to understand how do I want to build wealth long term? Like, what do I actually want to do? Then you can use magic to build a good business, where you're not scamming people, but you're just becoming like the best. Like, you have all this competition, right? But you're making yourself seem like you're the best because you could do things to attract people to mainly like your type of stuff if you really want to do that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But make sure that you're actually good at what you do. You don't want to be scamming people because people will like could feel when you're doing magic on them. So there's actually ways to do magic where they don't feel it, which I'm not going to talk about because like I don't want people to use it for like for the wrong reasons. But pretty much like people will feel scammed by you if you end up scamming them with magic. So you won't build long term success anyway. So it's important to actually change yourself and to actually make yourself a competent person who actually like has the skills that is required to manifest certain results. And then you just use the magic to like enhance yourself. But you don't need the magic, but it's a good enhancer that pretty much helps you so that you could already do on your own. And you could actually use the magic to actually just increase like your natural ability. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, let's say you want to get stronger, right? Okay, boom, you can actually use magic to help you to help you recover faster. So now instead of having to like work out and take longest time to recover, you just recover super duper fast. So therefore you can build strength faster and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Use the magic to enhance yourself. And on my Patreon, if you're inside the Asara John one, I'm gonna be talking more about using magic to transform yourself and get more into with your soul, and then like how to manifest your soul's desires and not your personality desires and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? At first, though, I gotta post a video called "The Doctrine of the Soul," which I'm working on. So I already like typed up pretty much most of it. Then I gotta type it up on because it's on my phone for right now. It's on my notes. I gotta put it on my computer, then record on my computer and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see this on my Patreon. So yeah, if you're inside the Asar John Patreon, a lot of stuff is coming to that. But even if you're inside the Jedi Spiritual Journey one, I still got stuff coming to that too. So just stay tuned for the Patreon stuff because it's gonna get very little over there. Eventually, I'm gonna have a whole like sorcery school, which is gonna be different from the whole Asar John stuff. The Asar John Patreon is gonna help you out a lot with getting in tune with your soul, pretty much. Though I'm gonna talk a lot about getting in tune with your soul and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll make the joint for Dadaism. Then as you learn Dadaism, you can start practicing the sorcery and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a pretty good joint. I'll make a video specifically on my Patreon on what's coming to that later when I actually have everything up and stuff like that. It's gonna come pretty soon. So I mean, then again, soon is relative to how soon could be 5 days, soon could be a year to someone, soon could be whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? So it's coming. Just be on the lookout for that, okay? But with that being said, this is how you work magic. It's been your boy, Dr. Diamond, Coaching Get Entertainment. My coaching links are down below. My Discord is down below. My Patreon's down below. You know what I'm saying? Star Seed readings and Spirit Guide readings. I love doing those, bro. I've talked to like a couple of y'all so far because I was already doing them before it was on my website. But now it's on my website. I've talked to a couple of y'all already, and it's always been dope talking to y'all. So I really enjoyed those. Even though like I'm serving you, it helps to serve me too, bro. You know what I'm saying? So besides getting paid for it, like just the fact that I get to experience some of your guys' energy and like see your guys' lives and like all that type of stuff, like it'd be super cool. So I really enjoyed that a lot. But yeah, like I said, it's been your boy, Dr. Diamond, Coach Entertainment. All my links are down below. I'm gonna catch you. Ooh, I'm gonna catch you in the next video. I love you all. Peace.